Welcome to the Import a DAT File for a Hurricane Scenario video tutorial. In this video, we will provide an overview of DAT files and walk through how to import a DAT file of observed windfield data into Hazus to create a hurricane scenario. What is a DAT file? It is a collection of observed wind speeds captured at the census tract level for a real-world hurricane event, which allows users to build scenarios based on that actual event. Using a DAT file allows users to import actual wind speeds tied to a census tract rather than having Hazus model the wind speeds using a storm tract and its own calculations. Please note that these files are not generally available for all hurricanes and require contacting the Hazus team via the email in the video description to see if one is available. For this walkthrough, we will be using a DAT file provided from FEMA's Natural Hazards Risk Assessment Program for 2017's Hurricane Harvey. It is important to note that you must use a study region that contains an area impacted by the hurricane in order to create a scenario from a DAT file. For example, we cannot use a study region in North Carolina with a DAT file for a hurricane in Texas. For our scenario, we are going to import a DAT file for 2017's Hurricane Harvey. We have already opened a study region of Aransas and Nueces counties in Texas, since that is an area that was impacted by that storm. To begin the process of importing the data, open the Hazard menu and select Scenario. This opens the Hurricane Scenario Management Wizard, which will guide you through selecting the DAT file to create your hurricane scenario. Click Next to start the wizard. Here you select the type of hurricane scenario you'd like to build. Since we are building a scenario from imported data, we will select Create New Scenario and click Next. Select the type of data you will use to build your new scenario. We will build a hurricane scenario from a DAT file, which is also known as an Import Census Tract data file, formerly known as H*wind import. Select that option and click Next. Now you are asked to name your scenario. We suggest you name your scenario something descriptive and unique so you can easily identify it after you create it. Here we will name our scenario starting with Harvey DAT and ending with today's date so that we know the type of scenario and when it was created. Once you name your scenario, click Next. You will need to locate your DAT file on your hard drive. Click Browse and navigate to where you have saved the file. Once it is selected, click Next. Hazus will now import the file and a dialog box will appear for you to review the scenario's storm track data. However, since DAT files import wind speeds at the census tract centroid, not the actual hurricane track data, this grid will be blank, so just click Next to be taken to the final review of the whole scenario. If you would like to make any changes, click Back and make those changes at this time, or click Next to proceed to the final step of the scenario creation. Now Hazus will ask if you would like to make this scenario active for analysis. We will select Yes and click Next. Click Finish and the scenario will become active. Your DAT-based scenario is complete and ready for use in loss analyses. However, it is recommended that you view the wind speed data in order to confirm the import was successful and to familiarize yourself with your scenario. You can view the imported data by opening the Results menu and clicking Wind Speeds. A grid will appear with the wind speed data for each census tract. Select the column header and click Map, then return to the map view to see the data in your study region. Congratulations! In this video, you learned about DAT files and how to import a DAT file of observed windfield data into Hazus to create a hurricane scenario. Look for more Hazus video tutorials on the FEMA YouTube channel.